purpose naturally comes when you focus on self-mastery, when you focus on going inward. Okay? Because if you clicked on this video, right, perhaps you are super ambitious, baby. You are a go-getter, right? You have dreams, you have goals, and you've conquered a lot of them. You've accomplished a lot. Yet happiness evades you, or feeling content, feeling peaceful in your body evades you. And what a disservice that is to yourself. Even with all that hard work you put into your life, even after all that hard work you put into to show up for yourself, and you still feel like it's not enough, we gotta change that. We gotta change that. Okay? And this is how we're gonna do it. Hello, beauties. Thank you for joining me and sharing space with me today. I am Lacresha. Thank you for joining Self-Reclamation, where we talk all things personal development and returning home to yourself. In today's video, I really want to get into why chasing purpose may be blocking you and making you feel lost. If you feel like you've been constantly searching for that thing, that vision, that purpose that makes you brilliant, makes you desirable, makes you worthy, this video is for you. So often I feel that society pushes this notion that we have to have titles, we have to have material possessions, we have to have certain relationships and status to be enough, to hold an existence in this world. And it's sick. It's sick. I know personally I have struggled with this for so long, so many years of constantly wanting to be something more, that the version of my current self was never enough. I was never doing enough. I never had enough certifications. I never had enough accolades. It was never enough. Whatever it was, no matter what status I reached to, no matter what accomplishment I achieved, it wasn't enough. And I would say it was the result of this pushing of worldliness. It's so worldly. It is so worldly to wake up every day and feel like you've already lost because you're not at a certain status, because you don't have the thing yet. You're not like your friends who are taking trips all over the world and doing this and that. You're not the friend that has their own side business. You work a 9 to 5 and you feel like you already lost off the wake up, baby. Like off the, I just got out of bed and I already feel like a failure. I feel behind. My timeline is off, baby. The time is ticking because they told me to catch up. I'm 2 years behind. I'm 3 years. And it goes on. Like we could literally just swim in that, right? I'm the first to say I've been in that sea of misery. I have. Oh my goodness. And it's miserable. So today we're going to talk more about what that energy and focus could be given to instead. What you are made of, that beauty, because behind that, right? Behind the reason for you wanting purpose is most likely because you're like, man, I have so much potential. I'm so worthy. I feel like if I had a thing that I can give to, I could really excel. I could be exceptional. Okay. Keep that same energy. Beautiful. Perfect. Today, we're going to talk about how you can put that energy into yourself and why focusing on your well-being, focusing on your emotional health, your spiritual health and your physical health, why pouring into that as if that's your purpose, how that can propel your life, how that can lead to life fulfillment, honey. So let's get into it. So, as we already got into, we know that, can we like agree? Can we call the elephant in the room and just name it for what it is? That society has conditioned us to believe that we need the titles, we need the accolades, we need the nice cars, and we need multiple cars. And we need multiple houses. We need real estate, baby. Because if you don't got real estate, what you doing? And then on top of that, you need a couple side businesses. And if you still at a 9 to 5, that's fine. But they're expecting you to have a t-shirt business by 5 p.m. today. And also, you need to be in the community, serving the homeless on the weekend. On top of school that you in, you got classes, you got homework. On top of, baby, like, what? Make it make sense. I'm doing the math and the math is not adding. Right? So let me ask you this. If you were to line it all up, you were to put on paper all of your accolades, all of your titles, baby, all of your certifications, all of the projects you've been in, I want you also to list all the things that the world deems as worthy. Put it on paper. And then I'm going to ask you to crumple that paper up. Now, let's say you ain't got that. Who are you? What are your values? What's important to you? What is self-worth? What makes you worthy as a human being? Not as a professional, not as the project manager at so-and-so, but as a being, as who, insert your name here, as, right? As Raven, who am I? As you, who are you? And really ask yourself that, because a lot of times we focus so much on the titles. We focus so much on the next thing that we get from this worldly place and say, that's going to make me feel fulfilled. That's going to make me happy. That's going to make my name is going to really change the game, and like life is going to be so much better for me. And maybe you're right. If you're right and it happens, I am ecstatic for you, because at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for, right? That's what we're all trying to cultivate. However, for a lot of us, it's not the next thing, right? It's not the next certification. It's not the next degree. It's not the next job. It's not any of that. It's actually going inward and defining ourselves as worthy, not allowing the next thing that's external to do so. I just want to say that if you didn't have an answer to that question of like, who are you, without the list of things, know that that's okay. That is totally okay. It is understandable. And please give yourself grace, because all that says is that there's an opportunity for you to explore yourself. I believe purpose is a two-faced coin, right? On one side, we think it's this external thing that's going to define us, and that's why we're here in this world, is for this very reason. But then on the other side, I believe purpose to very much be about just being, and it being an inward journey. That purpose is you living your most authentic life. I mean, you're showing up each and every day, serving from a place of, how can I be most authentic in who I am? How can I pour into my community in the most authentic way that I can? From where I am today, who I am today, my authentic being, how can I show up the truest way? I believe that's purpose. Because when you're aligned to your authentic voice, you change the game. Things attract to you. People can find you. Opportunities can find you, because you're being real. You're being authentic. You're not wearing a mask. You're not doing a thing just because society says so. right? You're doing it because you have taken time to reflect. You've taken time to ask yourself the intentional questions that say, who am I? What matters to me? What do I value? Like what do I want to wake up each day and pour from my heart? And a lot of times we catastrophize things and we make it so we think it has to be grand. Maybe that's the misconception is we think it has to be grand. We think it has to be I want to change the world overnight and I want to cure everything that's in the world. Done. I want to take it out. If that's you, baby, we love you. We need you. Continue your walk. But for those of us who think it has to be all that, I believe we're missing you may be missing the beautiful point of you're here in this world to live, not just to serve and be of a player in this world, right? You do that already by you being you. By you being authentic to who you are, you serve the world, you serve your community in the most abundant way because there's no one else that can play your role. Only you. So by you showing up true to yourself, by you taking on the task that you feel you truly want to do, not just out of obligation, not just out of, I think this will lead to this, or I think people will like me if I go this way. No, 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 no. By you choosing authentic action, by you choosing authentic behavior, by going inward, by having those deep conversations with yourself, you serve not only the community, but you serve yourself. You do yourself a service, a justice by pouring into you in that way. It's so important that we remind ourselves that chasing purpose, the fact that if this is you, if you think you have to chase something outside of you to be deemed worthy, that's an indication already that there's a misalignment. Because worthiness is not determined by some external thing, right? And if we want to, since it's in the room, happiness, right? Happiness is not determined by some external thing. Now, can it contribute to it? Absolutely. Come on now. Come on now. We know the saying, crying in a whatever, insert your favorite car, is better than crying and walking, or whatever saying you want to say. Baby, we get it. We know that these things can contribute, but I'm talking about the happiness that never leaves you. I'm talking about the happiness that coddles you and reminds you that your breath is enough. The happiness that reminds you like, oh, I can smile right now. I don't have to wait until I get that thing because I'm abundant right now. I am so grateful. And because I'm so grateful, it reminds me of all of the many blessings I already have. So to chase something outside of me, I don't need to do that because I'm not in lack. Right? Right? Period. Think of it like this. If you are always running, if you're always running and chasing purpose, how are you able to plant roots? How are you able to build stability? How are you able to really cultivate a practice? If you're always running, you're not able to do that. Purpose comes naturally when you allow yourself to be planted, to be rooted. And to do those things, to be rooted, to be planted, means to allow yourself the space and the ability to evolve and to feel connected to yourself and to your wellness. When you're connected to self and your wellness, you're able to explore the many dimensions of yourself. And through exploration, you're able to further define, what do you want your path to look like? What step do you want to take going forward? All of that comes, purpose naturally comes when you focus on self-mastery, when you focus on going inward, when you focus on building a practice with yourself, which brings me into some steps that you can take, that you can apply today that'll help you feel more connected to yourself. Because if you're struggling to feel purposeful, if you're struggling to feel connected or aligned to your path, going inward is a way to help you illuminate that. So here is how we're going to flip the script, okay? Because if you clicked on this video, right, perhaps you are super ambitious, baby. You are a go-getter, right? You have dreams, you have goals, and you've conquered a lot of them. You've accomplished a lot. However, you're still feeling empty, which is wicked, because when you look at your track record, baby, you bout that life, right? But yet happiness evades you, or feeling content, feeling peaceful in your body evades you. And what a disservice that is to yourself. Even with all that hard work you put into your life, even after all that hard work you put into to show up for yourself, and you still feel like it's not enough, we got to change that. We gotta change that. Okay? And this is how we're gonna do it. First, I want you to focus on staying committed to yourself. So what does that mean? If you say you're gonna take some time to rest. Stop playing, please. And be intentional about that rest. Don't take rest to then only mull over all the things you have to do, and then therefore you're not really resting. You're actually just ruminating on all the things you have to do, and then you're not even rejuvenated after. Sick. Please put that down. Don't do that. Being committed to yourself looks like, hey, if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And this practice is so intimate. This practice is the catalyst of building self-trust, because if you're so focused on, oh, I got to be this thing, I got to do this thing, I got to have purpose, I got to see things through, but you're not even consistent with brushing your teeth in the morning or doing your skin routine daily. Like, I didn't mean to come at you like that, because I'm coming at myself too. I've been there. This is a real human thing. I'm speaking from a real place of like, baby, you and I, same page. Of like, we know there's so much within us, that we're capable of so much, and we want to be so much, but by doing so, you lose connection with yourself. And then you doubt everything you do. And now everything you do isn't enough. And you're never happy, and you feel like you're behind. Step 1, focus on the small commitments that pour into your well-being. So if you say you're going to journal, and be intentional with why that's important to you. So this first step is don't just put anything in there, right? Holding your commitments. I want you to think deeply about the things that you know would bring more rejuvenation to your life. The things you know would make you feel whole on a spiritual level, right? Maybe it's like reading the Bible study. Maybe it's connecting with your friends and having fruitful conversations about, growth and spirituality. Whatever it may be, focus on the small commitments that you know bring you fruitful wins on a spiritual level, on a well-being level, right? Start there. Be consistent with that, and see the dividends that it pays to you. Okay. Second, I want you to make a practice of checking in with yourself. If you're someone who constantly strives for the next and the next and the next, pause. Sit down. Sit down long enough to really conceptualize all of your efforts, every stage of evolution that you've gone through. Not saying you got to mull over for months or years in this stage, even though some people do, and that's a part of a process too. But take some time to breathe and be still with yourself. Again, as we've been saying in this video, going inward is vital, because if you're constantly trying to strive for something but you're not taking inventory, if you're not doing the reflection and the pause for your body, for your emotional experience to really cultivate the newness of your evolution, you're gonna miss some things because you're so busy trying to add. You're so busy trying to do the next thing and evolve when there's a needed period of integration. There's a needed period of that is not just for cutesy. That's a part of evolution. So I invite you to make a practice of asking yourself each day, what do I need today? How can I best support myself? That's the real work that creates clarity. Next, I want you to practice not associating yourself with the achievement, but who you are outside of your goals. So outside of your professional goals, outside of your goals to be a title in the world, who are you outside of those goals? Now, if your goals are referring to like, I want to be healthy, I want to grow my relationship with myself. Now, those goals, they're relevant, right? Because those are focusing on an inward, a very intimate relationship with self, not in relation to the world. So with this step, I want you to explore who are you? Who are you outside of those goals that are strictly for worldly purposes? And those goals are, nothing is wrong with those goals. But for the purpose of reclaiming our relationship with ourselves and not feeling distorted, not feeling neglected from self, we have to reclaim the validity of things, right? We put all this power, all the emphasis on that goal is going to be it. We, by being that title, is going to be it. So much power we give to these things. Reclaim that, okay? Take a breather and reflect on what are the goals that pour directly into you, that make you a better version of yourself for you. How can you evolve for you? That's the shift. Lastly, I invite you to create more moments of stillness. Just pause, just breathing, with no electronics, no distractions, no to-do list, no like, I gotta do stillness. And even better if you can get out into nature, and that can be your backdrop. But creating more moments of stillness allows you to do the reflection that's really difficult to do in a high-paced world. The world we live in, there's no such thing. You have to cultivate this stillness. And that can be a matter of setting 2 minutes aside each day for yourself, just to focus on breathing, allowing your thoughts to cycle without you analyzing them, depicting them, or trying to break them down. This is a moment just for self, and a moment too to become an observer of your day, right? Where, as opposed to always acting on things, always like the next, I'm not like feeding the hungry monster of ambition. Give it a pause. Allow yourself stillness. This is the perfect time to allow yourself to regulate emotionally, right? Regulate your nervous system, right? A lot of times our nervous system is engaged, engaged and ready to attack or run, and we don't even know it. And a lot of indications that show up are like stiffness in our body, right? We don't even realize how tight our shoulders are, or how engaged our stomach is until we get home at night and we feel it totally relax and it goes soft, right? But there's so many indications that tell us that taking a moment for stillness is medicinal. It's medicinal. Pouring into yourself is medicinal and necessary. I want you to walk away from this video knowing that you do not need to chase anything, nor anyone, period. You are already enough. That greatness is you, right? That the things that you think will make life worthy, make you worthy, who gave it that definition? Who said so? And question the things you go after just to ensure it's really what you want to go after and not what society says, not what your parents say, not what your friend group is pushing. Challenging the narrative is vital and important in helping you feel more aligned and feeling more connected to yourself. Because so often this world will do whatever it can to disconnect you from yourself and from you feeling true to who you are and speaking from your authentic voice. If nothing else from this video, I hope that you walk away knowing too that you get to choose. You are the main character in your life. Each day, wake up knowing that, hey, what do I need today? How can I be a better supporter to myself? What do I need? How can I show up for myself? How can I pour into myself for my emotional well-being, my spiritual well-being, my physical? Pouring into yourself in those 3 categories does wonders in helping you feel connected. And by feeling more connected to yourself, right, focusing on self-mastery, you find that the path starts to right itself. You find that alignment is natural because you are showing up authentic to who you are and you are taking action on the things that feel true to you. And that cultivate you in your total well-being, not just one area, right? By you focusing on your spirit, by you focusing on your mind and your physical, you allow total well-being. And from that space, the opportunities are endless. At that, when you lead by that, you feel limitless. And I invite you to take that moment of pause, that moment of stillness, to allow yourself to rejuvenate and feel connected to self, so that each day you wake up knowing that purpose is already within you. I want to thank you so much for sharing space with me today. Thank you for loving on me and joining me in the journey of self-reclamation. Know that you are enough, you are worthy. That is innate, that is your birthright. Continue to walk each day knowing that you're it, period. With love, I'll see you later. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.